From Matchbox to Dark Forest. This is the story of a little boy named Peter. He lived in a green cozy cottage in a forest in the south of Australia. His home was very beautiful. It was surrounded by tall green trees and a patch of green grass. The walls of the house were made of wood. They were painted green. Peter's home looked like a big mushroom from a distance. The ceiling inside was made of wooden planks and had a few cracks that allowed a little sunlight to peek through. On the walls of the cottage, there were colorful paintings of animals and trees that Peter had made. The cottage also had a small balcony to see a beautiful river that flowed nearby. The balcony was decorated with a few potted flowers, including bright red roses and yellow daisies. Peter's cottage was a perfect blend of nature and comfort. One fine morning, Peter set out for his routine walk by the riverside. He was strolling along the pebbled pathway when he noticed a shiny box lying under a cluster of bushes. Curiosity got the best of him and he bent down to pick it up. "What is inside?" he wondered aloud. "It is a matchbox," a passerby replied. "The people must have dropped it while camping here last night," the passerby continued, pointing towards a spot near the riverbank. Peter nodded in agreement and thanked the stranger before resuming his walk. "What are you going to do with this?" the passerby asked. Peter shook the box in surprise. "I will also use it to light the stove and heat the carrot soup," said Peter. Now he did not even listen to the passerby's words and jumped back quickly. When he came home, his mother was not at home. She had gone to a nearby market to buy carrots as usual. When Peter came into the kitchen, he put a small pot on the stove. There was yesterday's leftover soup in it. Peter took out a matchstick, lit it, and put it near the stove. "But what is this?" The stove was not catching fire. Instead, the fire on the stick started to catch fire on Peter's hand, so he panicked and threw the stick out of the window. Then he took out the second stick, then the third and fourth, but the stove did not catch fire in any way. Peter kept throwing burning sticks out of the window. After a while, someone knocked at the door. Peter opened the door. When his mother came, she smelled that something was burning. "Did you go to the kitchen?" "Yes, no." He tried to tell his mother, but she was in a hurry. She hurried into the kitchen and quickly checked all the stoves. Nothing was working. Everything was fine. Yes, the soup pot was lying on the shelf. "You wanted to warm the soup?" Peter did not answer. He rushed out of the kitchen. He did not know how to tell his mother. When his mother came into the room, Peter was sitting quietly in the room. His mother had a bowl of soup in her hand. She placed it on the side table and said, "My dear son, I have seen matches falling out of the window. God forbid if the stove had caught fire, you could have caught fire." Peter was very embarrassed to hear this. "You are a little boy. When you grow up, you will learn to light the stove yourself." Peter's mom suddenly sniffed something and said, "It smells like burning." "Oh my God!" Mom quickly ran out of the room. What happened was, when Peter threw the burning bags out the window, the grass caught fire. The fire reached the walls of Peter's house. The wood started to burn. "Oh no!" Peter's mother had called neighbors. A person arrived outside Peter's house with several companions. They brought a lot of water from the river in their vehicles. Soon the fire was extinguished. The green walls were burnt and turned black. But thankfully there was not much damage. After that, Peter built the wall together with his mother. Their neighbors also helped them. Now, Peter painted it yellow. The lesson learned from this story is to never play with matches. Do not try to do anything dangerous by yourself without first asking your elders. Months passed and Peter forgot his lesson. He was fond of natural green scenery and always loved to explore the forest. One day he decided to go deeper into the forest without telling his parents. He was so excited to see what he would discover, but he did not realize the danger he was putting himself in. As he wandered deeper into the forest, he lost track of time and direction. Suddenly, he realized he was lost. Peter panicked and cried for help, but no one was around. He was all alone in the dark forest. Meanwhile, Peter's parents had realized that he was missing. They searched for him everywhere. They asked their neighbors and friends, but nobody had seen him. They were worried sick and did not know what to do. They had searched for him everywhere except the dark forest where very few people used to go. They went to the dark forest and called his name, but there was no response. They searched for hours, and just when they were about to give up hope, they heard his cries for help. They followed the sound and found Peter hiding in bushes. He was scared and hungry but relieved to see his parents. They hugged him tightly and took him back home. From that day onwards, Peter learned his lesson. He realized that he would never go too far away without telling his parents. He understood that his parents were always there to guide him and protect him from harm. The moral of the story is that we should always listen to our parents and never take their love and care for granted. We should not wander too far away without telling them, as it can put us in danger. Our parents are always there to protect us and keep us safe.